Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to build a playbook from modern success, and it covers everything from the inner workings of your brain all the way to your company's bottom line.
All right, let's just kick things off with a huge question, right? In the world we live in today, what skills are the ones that actually move the needle? Is it all about tech? Is it about understanding people? Or is it about being a great leader?
Well, it turns out the answer isn't just one thing. It's really a journey. And this explainer follows that exact path. We're going to start from the inside out, beginning with the most powerful tool you've got, your own mind.
Okay, first up, let's talk about hacking your own brain. We're going to dig into how you can make your mind work smarter, not harder, especially when you need to remember really important stuff.
So this all kicks off with a little bit of brain science, which is super cool. When you see a number, your brain actually splits the job in two. Your left parietal lobe gets to work on the quantity, the how much. But then your frontal lobe steps in to give it meaning, to connect it to things you already know. Just understanding that simple division is, believe it or not, the first step to remembering things better.
Okay, so that's the science, but how do you actually use it? Well, here are 3 super practical ways. Using visual aids, like picturing the number 8 as a little snowman, plays right into your frontal lobe's love for association. Good old repetition just helps strengthen those pathways in your brain. And creating a story, like turning 5 plus 5 into 2 hands coming together to make 10, builds a narrative that's easy to recall. And look, these aren't just little memory tricks. They're ways to work with your brain's natural design.
All right, so that's your own brain. Now, let's build on that. Once you're optimized for learning, how in the world do you get complex ideas across to other people? Well, the answer is all about visualizing your data.
Oh man, we have all been there, haven't we? Just staring at a giant spreadsheet, a wall of numbers where all the rows and columns just blur together. You feel completely lost. Raw data can feel like absolute chaos, and it makes it practically impossible to find that key insight you know is hiding in there somewhere.
But here's the good news. A free tool like Looker Studio can help you slice right through that chaos in just 5 pretty simple steps. You just connect your data, pick the right kind of chart to tell your story, and before you know it, you're sharing a clear, compelling report. It's all about turning that chaos of numbers into a story that anyone can understand.
And this is where it gets really powerful. When you combine that visualization with AI, it's not just about making pretty charts. Get this, a retail store used an AI tool to predict sales trends and automate its invoicing. The result? They cut their cash shortages by a whopping 30%. See, that's the difference. It's not just seeing the data, it's acting on it and getting real, tangible results.
Okay, so we've got ourselves sorted, we've got our data handled. Now let's turn our attention outward to the single most important person in any business, the customer. And to really connect with them, you've got to get inside their head.
Just listen to this line. This is the most expensive washing machine on the market because it will never break. It's such a brilliant example of counterintuitive marketing. It takes a negative, the high price, and immediately flips it into this unbeatable positive, pure reliability. It just grabs you because it's the total opposite of what you expect an advertiser to say.
So what's going on in our brains when we hear that? It's something called the surprise effect. When our expectations are suddenly broken, our brain lights up and flags the moment as important. It makes us pay way closer attention. That little jolt of surprise makes the message so much more memorable than just another boring marketing claim.
And here's the key takeaway, right? This stuff isn't just fluffy theory. It has a massive, measurable impact. When you combine psychological tactics with sharp tools like precision email marketing, the results can be incredible. Studies show an average return of $36 for every single dollar spent. Think about that. That is the insane power of really understanding your audience.
So we've covered ourselves, our data, and our customer. And that brings us to the final piece of our playbook, how to scale all of this success by leading a team effectively. And you know what? Great leadership starts with great measurement.
It's an old saying, but it's true. You can't improve what you don't measure. This template is a really clear, data-driven way to track your own growth as a leader. You're asking simple, powerful questions. Are we actually hitting our targets? Is my team happy and engaged? Is my communication crystal clear? And are we keeping our best people around? These aren't just vague feelings. They're concrete things you can actually track.
And this isn't just theoretical. Let's look at what happened with a real tech startup. They started using this framework and really focused on making their communication clearer. Before they started, their team satisfaction score was, a kind of mediocre 60%.
But after just 6 months of tracking and making improvements, that score saw a massive jump to 85%.
And you know what? That huge jump in happiness wasn't just a feel-good thing. It had a real impact on the business. That same focus on clear metrics led to a 15% drop in employee turnover. It just goes to show you that great leadership isn't some abstract art. It's a set of measurable skills that build a stable, motivated, and high-performing team.
So there you have it. We've gone on a journey from hacking our own memory, to visualizing data, to understanding our customers, and finally, to leading a team with total clarity. The playbook is open. The only real question left is, which chapter are you going to write first?